welcome back to another episode. Today I thought I'd share with you how I prepare and dehydrate some of my hiking meals. I'm an average cook. Today we're going to try chili con carne my way. You can see the amount of fat that's in there. So what I'm going to do now is rinse the meat. Just boiled my kettle. I'm going to pour it over the meat and try and drain off more of that fat. I'm also just running some hot water over it as well. And when it's not quite at boiling point, I will stick my hand in there, and when it doesn't feel greasy, you know that you've rinsed it enough. And it's also a good opportunity to break it up. So if you've got any clumps in there, it's a good opportunity to, oh, that's pretty hot. I'm going to turn that water off for a moment. So now I have my meat drained off. I'm going to toast off my spices, and what I've got here is a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and a teaspoon of cumin. I've also got 3 garlic cloves because I really like garlic. I'm sure you all know this, but just in case, if you microwave your garlic cloves, they literally just pop out of their skins. Oops, like that. And I've actually got, that's hot, 4 rather than 3. Oh well, what are you going to do? There we go. Let's add in their spices. Let's add our meat back in and turn that fire back on. So this is a can of red kidney beans. I've just drained and rinsed them. So the last thing I'm going to add is a can of crushed tomatoes and some tomato paste. So it's just a tomato paste that I bought from the supermarket. Because when I'm out in the bush, I like to get as much veg in as I can. I'm also going to dehydrate some grated carrot and some spinach. So I'm going to add a little bit of water into this, about half a can, just because it's a little bit dry and I want it to cook down. Alright, I'm going to turn that heat down, pop a lid on, and come back to it in about half an hour. So, these are just baking paper that I've cut to size. Obviously, when you're doing something like chili or a curry, it's going to fall through the cracks. So, I do have some silicone sheets that I've bought, I just haven't got around to cutting them up yet. That tapping you can hear is Xena walking around, and the panting is Zeus because we've just been out playing ball. So I'm going to load these up. Fairly thin layer. And put them into the dehydrator. So that's one tray done. 3 trays. And now we wait. Everything's done. You can hear how crunchy that is. It's pretty crunchy too. There's an entire bag of grated carrot there and an entire bag of spinach. And you can see this as well. It's dry and brittle and crunchy. So I'm just going to break that up into the bowl and then we'll divide it up into bags. You see how crunchy that is. So I've just cooked up a big pot of white rice. Obviously this is way too much for my hiking meals, but I've done some extra so that I can have that stored in the freezer. So yeah, let's put this in the dehydrator. So I think this will make around 6 meals, and I'm going to divide them up into these bags that I've already labelled. Weigh these so that you're sure that you have equal amounts in each bag. I've just discovered that the battery is dead in my kitchen scales and I don't have a spare, so I'm just going to guesstimate. And then I can just go back and adjust if they don't look even. There you have it, 6 meals. Just need to wait for those noodles to dehydrate and I'll add them. You could also add them separately if you wanted to and rehydrate them on the track. It's a few weeks later, it's actually March now, and we're in South Australia at Southend Bush Camp. We've just come back from the beach and I thought it'd be a great opportunity to rehydrate this and show you how it works. So yeah, let's get going. So this is my dehydrated chili beef that I've carted from Victoria. There we go, doesn't that look amazing? Alright, just going to add water. Just enough to cover it, and you can always add more, but you can't add less, so maybe a little bit more because we are rehydrating rice. So there we go. So you can see, yeah, I've just covered it. So we'll put that on and leave it go for a little while. This has been going for about 10 or so minutes, and I did have to add some extra water to it, but you can see how that's rehydrated really nicely now. So because we're off-grid in the caravan, I have the luxury of having grated cheese and sour cream with me, and depending on where I was hiking, if it wasn't too far, I would take this with me as well. It's always nice to have something a little bit fresh with your dehydrated meals. A little bit of sour cream. And we are good to go. Look at that. Chili beef with cheese and sour cream. Delicious. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that it works for you. And I shall see you on the next one.